Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dawson. His name is Justin.
What's going on, guys?
And today we are doing a podcast of Season 2 finale of The Flash. Wow, Justin, we haven't talked about it yet at all. We just got into a call, hurried up, made this really janky thumbnail, and started this thing because, if I have to be honest, this is the best episode of The Flash to date.
I mean, it better be. It's the season finale.
Like, not even this season, just to date. This finale was fantastic. It actually intrigued me more than anything else, like any other episode. And the fight between Barry and Zoom might have been better than him in the Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
Like, this was, like, of course they've gotten better choreography and stuff like that, but this was just a more compelling fight. It felt like before he was trying to track the man who killed his mom, of course. But that was years and years and years since that happened, and though he was still upset, it didn't feel as powerful as, you know, his mom now dead, his dad now dead, and just all of this stuff happening, you know, all at once. It really just made, and you know, everybody dying, like the meta-apocalypse is happening. You know, Zoom is just wreaking havoc, trying to destroy the entire multiverse. It just felt like a more compelling fight. Now, was the fight, like, mind-blowing? No, it's still a TV show. It's not going to be a mind-blowing fight like,
yeah, it's not going to be like
Civil War or like Batman v Superman, but it still was a much more compelling fight than any other fight we had before. You continue, because I've talked a little bit too much already. You go. And by the way, before he starts, spoiler podcast.
Yeah,
it's kind of obvious. So if you haven't seen the episode, I'm sorry if I just told you a little bit, but I really just told you it was a really cool fight.
Everything you just said was like already in like the previews for the episode. So
yeah, but go ahead.
This episode, there was some cool like nods to things. There was some shit that I did not expect. This episode was definitely the best of the season, possibly best of the series, and I freaking loved it. Like, there was things I was like, no shit, like no way that they did not have to do that, and then it's like, oh shit, wait, come on now. This episode just kind of blew my mind a little bit.
Yeah, now there was some problems with the episode, just like every episode that CW puts out of their superhero shows. There are some problems with the episode, but overall, they have started and ended a lot of story plots. Like they did a lot of stuff. Personally, you know, I know we're really early in the podcast to actually talk about the ending of the episode, but I want to do it real quick because my least favorite part of this episode was the ending. Seeing Barry go back and try to save his mom again was totally not needed. I don't want him saving his mom.
And before we wanted to go watch the episode, we were in a Skype call, and you told me in every storyline, the one thing that has to happen is his mother has to die.
Yeah, it's like keeping Uncle Ben around. It's like it's a part of his story, and it's like, when are they gonna stop trying to save his mom? When is he gonna stop trying to save his mom? It just needs to stop.
I mean, you saw it as a problem. I saw it as intriguing. I want to know where they go.
It's intriguing on what they're gonna do, but it was also like he tried to destroy Zoom a lot throughout last season, and a little bit like he was having trouble this season with Zoom, or not Zoom. Sorry, Reverse Flash. He just walked in there and punched him a few times, and then he's down. That's not gonna happen. Like, Barry is better than he was, but he's not gonna go in there and punch the Reverse Flash a few times and then he's down. There's his mom saved. Like, that's just not. And maybe Zoom will get up and still kill his mom. That's a possibility.
Reverse Flash.
Oh, I keep on saying Zoom is such a much better villain so far. but Reverse Flash might still get up and kill his mom. That still could happen, but it seems like they're going to take it in a different way, like beginning of next season, have Barry's mom still alive, which I don't want, but maybe they'll explain it somehow. That is at least a little bit intriguing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's intriguing to me because I want to know where they go from here. Because at this point,
it changes the entire storyline that we've seen.
Nothing. There might be still metas because, well, no, because Thawne was the one who created the particle accelerator. Is that correct? Or was it the original Harrison Wells?
It was Harrison Wells' work, but I believe Thawne finished it.
So without Thawne there, the particle accelerator has never completely.
At least not on that Earth.
Yeah. So the metas aren't there. Everything is different.
It would literally end the show.
Yeah.
This would be the series finale if that was going to happen. So something has to happen to where, you know, he's the Flash still.
I mean, honestly, they might just like dwindle it down to it's just his connection to Speed Force. That Barry Allen as a person is always, even though he might not have his powers, he might never actually gotten his powers, he's still just part of the Speed Force, and they might just like say it like that.
Well, I mean, remember in like 2 episodes ago when he was actually in the Speed Force, they said that you were always destined to be the Flash.
Mm-hmm. So it might happen some other way, but he'll still be the Flash.
But it's the whole thing of even if he's gonna become the Flash again, we don't need his mom being alive.
Yeah, and
there's literally
his dad too.
Yeah, there's literally no reason, story plot wise, that he would need to go back and save his mom right now.
Mm-hmm. He effectively just erased the entire show. He just erased the whole show.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's still there. We can still go back and watch it, but it really did not happen. Yeah. And with it wouldn't make sense. So something has to happen next season, the beginning of it, where it kind of
think of it as a whole. Just expand upon it from just the Flash and into the entire like CW universe.
It would change everything.
Literally, never met Arrow. So there's plot points that are different than that. Never met Supergirl. I don't know how big their encounter was to the plot of the whole Supergirl show, but that changes things from there. Legends of Tomorrow, I can guarantee there's a lot of things different. Or will be at least. It just literally changes the whole universe. It doesn't change the show, it changes the whole universe.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that until you mentioned it, but yeah, it does. It would. And that would be way too confusing for the average viewer.
Yeah, like
for them to just change everything.
Arrow, they could probably get away with like not much really changing because I don't think I know Flash has done stuff that have mattered in the Arrow, but
it's almost they basically just talk about what happened.
Yeah,
it's just like, oh, what happened over in Central City? Oh god.
They can basically get away with not much changing in Arrow probably because I don't know the whole timeline difference between the Flash ending and Arrow ending, like for the season. I don't know like where those fall on the timeline of everything happening, but it could possibly change a lot of shit on the whole universe. But they probably won't write it in a way that it will affect the whole universe because reasons like just because you don't want your show changing because something else in the universe that you might not watch change.
Well, they'd have to. It's all in the same universe. They're bringing over Supergirl to widen the universe. So far, there's 4 shows within the universe now. It would change everything, at least a little bit. Stuff would change. I mean, effectively, if he's really not the Flash anymore, then Captain Cold's gone. Captain Cold's not gone, but it's not going to be like his whole mentality is going to change. He's dead now, but even like Heatwave's mentality is going to change because he never encountered the Flash. He's never been a good guy. He's probably still just a bad guy.
Firestorm never exists now.
Firestorm never existed. There's just a lot of stuff that would change. That just I don't know, but that's for them to figure out and for them not to fuck up. Hopefully,
I can't wait for the fall now.
But the next thing I want to talk about is just a few simple words. Crisis on Infinite Earth. That literally just almost happened. Crisis on Infinite Earths. That literally almost just happened, and it could still happen potentially. That's fucking amazing. They're talking about destroying the multiverse, and Cisco or someone asked how many Earths are there, and Wells is like infinite. Crisis on Infinite Earths. That literally when I that line right there when he said infinite, I literally got chills, goosebumps over my entire body.
There were 52 Earths. There was 52 everything.
What? Oh.
They literally mentioned before like 52 Earths or 52 portals to different Earths.
So it's 52. It doesn't mean there's not multiple. And plus, our Earth, Earth 1, I guess, at least the Earth where the show takes place in, is literally the middle of the entire multiverse, more or less. It's the hub where you can travel to any other Earth. That's just really cool. And one thing that me and Justin both kind of had at the same time was when the time wreaths came in right at the end, where Flash creates that whole what's it called? The time
remnant.
Time remnant, and he basically kicks Zoom's ass. He's on the ground, whatever happens, and then the time wreaths come in because something happened within the Speed Force, and they take Jay away. Freeze frame that. If you're listening to that, freeze frame that scene, and look up the Black Flash. I believe is what it's called.
It's like Black Lantern Flash.
No, that's not the Black Lantern Flash.
That's what it reminded me of, at least, because the Black Lanterns are zombies, and he's a zombie.
Look up the Black Flash. That is literally the Black Flash. It's just basically
even the emblem on Zoom's chest wasn't black anymore. It was starting to become a different color that represents it better.
Yeah. So basically the Black Flash is from the New Earth, which is where Jay Garrick is from. Earth 3. And that's where we saw in Legend of Tomorrow, if you watch that, the season finale was ended from a person that was from Earth 3, New Earth.
Part of the JSA. Oh my God,
which also Jay Garrick is part of the JSA.
That makes sense. That literally just clicks.
So this whole thing is all coming around into this giant thing. And the Flash is the one who started Crisis on Infinite Earth. That whole thing just was created by the Flashes, and it's just him going through it, just basically unlocking portals from all the different Earths, and just this giant clash from the Infinite Earths. Like it is a massive thing that happened. The Black Flash is basically he's a Grim Reaper for the Speedsters. He literally he's like a time wreath, basically what they explain there. But he is the Green Reaper for all the Speedsters. So if a Speedster dies, he comes and collects them. So
Zoom might not be gone for good, basically.
I don't think he'll be Zoom.
Hunter Zolman's body, at least, is not gone for good.
But I think they're going to repurpose him.
Yeah, like even change his name, be like the Speed Reaper maybe, or maybe something cooler like Speed Demon. Because every time I see the Speed Reese or whatever, I keep wanting to call them Speed Demons, because that's what they are, and Speed Demon sounds cool. That's a very Cisco sounding name too, as a Speed Demon.
Speed Demon. Hello, Flash.
I can totally see it.
Yeah, like they're opening a bunch of plot lines that could potentially happen, and where they take it, it's their responsibility. But I hope they take it in a good direction, because so far it was. This is our first podcast for the Flash. We've done one before for Legends of Tomorrow,
yeah,
and that was
touch on Flash
a little bit,
maybe, but that was a while ago.
That was months and months ago.
That was January.
Yeah, so that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But this was just a soft episode. And the one thing we have to talk about, I don't think I've ever had such a reaction before. My jaw literally dropped.
The Man in the Mask?
The Man in the Iron Mask.
Yeah. Like, we knew, okay, it was heavily speculated, and basically, everybody knew it was going to be Jay. That was just a thing. Didn't know it was going to be Earth 3 Jay, didn't know they were going to bring in another Earth, because they were only really focusing on Earth 1 and Earth 2. So So I didn't really think they'd bring in Earth 3 or any Earth past 2.
But, well, I mean, Jay was trying to conquer other Earths.
Yeah, they mentioned other
Hunter.
Earths, but they didn't really. They never showed anybody from any other Earth. It was just Earth 1, Earth 2 was the main focus points.
Except for in both seasons finales of Flash and Tomorrow.
Okay, yes.
They're both from Earth 3 now. But, well, it's called New Earth, but that's just, for all intents and purposes, just call it Earth 3, because that's what they're calling it so far. At least that's where they're from, is New Earth. I was almost positive that it was Jay Garrick. And I even told Justin before we went our separate ways to watch the finale that I'm pretty sure it's just going to be another one of Hunter's doppelgangers. It's just going to be another one. But that reveal, the second I saw the back of the guy's head, I was like, no fucking way.
I was really, I don't speak to myself very often. I usually keep my thoughts in my head. I was really speaking to myself like, no, they're not doing this. They can't be doing this.
And just to see him turn around with that full beard and to just be
looked like he was a castaway for months.
And it's just like, I'm the real Jay Garrick. And just the whole thing, because when the guy who plays Zoom and or the mock Jay Garrett, people thought he was young.
Yeah, I mean
he was a little too young. He fit the part perfectly.
He looks like Jay Garrick to me.
Yeah,
from everything I've seen him in, he could look like a Jay Garrick.
Yeah, like I would totally be like, yeah, that's Jay Garrick, even though he'd be a little too young. I was like, for all intents and purposes, that was Jay Garrick. But Jay Garrick's an old man. He's older. He fought in the wars.
He's probably JC's was around the 40s. So yeah,
he's an older man. When they literally blew my mind with that reveal.
I mean,
and just for him
they
to say,
hinted at it a while ago.
Yeah,
even
it was so.
It was Barry
so
mentioned
obvious.
that his grandmother's maiden name was Garrett. So they put it right in our face. But we just did not bite onto the hook.
For me, it was just like, oh, that's just a kind of a cool little Easter egg thing. Like, oh yeah, whatever. But they literally fucking threw it at us. It's like, here, take it, just whatever. And I even said before, when we first introduced the Man in the Iron Mask in like episode 2 or 3, I was like, that's gonna be Barry's dad. That's gonna be Barry's dad. But I thought it was just gonna be like Barry's dad doppelganger, which obviously it is now, or just like his dad or something. I thought it was going to be his dad, but after a while I was like, no, it's going to be Jay Garrick. It was both of them. It was both of them in the same thing. It was both Barry's dad and Jay Garrick. And look at him in that badass suit.
Yeah.
He looked awesome. Then he was like, and then he said, no, that helmet, that was his. And he was like,
well, coming from him for a change.
Yeah, and he puts it on. I'm like, oh my fucking god. I was like, I have never felt so just like happy about this show. I was just like,
yeah, like I knew he wasn't going to leave without that helmet, because that helmet is basically the Flash. Everybody knows him by his lightning bolt, but that Flash, everybody knows by the helmets.
Yeah, you like literally at the end of season 1 when we saw that helmet come through the portal. You didn't have to say anything; just that helmet sliding across the pavement. We were ready. We were immediately like, this is about to fucking change the way we see this show.
This changes the game.
And, wow. I told Justin before, many times, this entire season, that I think they literally ruined Jay Garrick.
Do you think they got redemption?
They redeemed it tenfold. I could not believe it, because I literally thought that was just the worst thing they could have ever done to make Jay Garrick Zoom. That was just it was dumb. It was idiotic. It was stupid. It's everything under the moon. It was just dumb. I hated it. Fuck. It all makes sense.
Literally, they would never do something like that without a reason to do it. And they had the reason.
I don't know. But now that I see that, it's just like, it makes this season a lot better because I can see what they're planning for. And a lot of the stuff I complained about before, I'm still going to complain about because it's still dumb at the time. But a lot of it makes sense now. Seeing the time remnants, and they explained it a little bit more to what my understanding about it is better now. But it was just, wow, that reveal when he puts on that helmet and that glare from behind him, and he just tilts that helmet just a little bit, and his costume is different. They got him a brand new costume, which still resembles Jay Garrick, but it's brighter colors, it's long sleeves.
I liked Zolomon's jacket. Something about that jacket was cool to me.
It's a cool jacket, but fuck, did they nail his costume? Both the costumes for Jay Garrick. They nailed it. It was just...
Yeah, Hunter Zolomon's costume was more taken like from the comics, while the new Jay costume, I don't know if that was taken from the comics exactly, but I know it's a Flash costume.
Yeah, it just... They did such a good job. And when they're like, well, thank you, Flash. And he's like, you too, Flash. I was like, fuck, you're doing it. You're doing it. One thing I'm a little bit disappointed in, and I hope something happens, is I want Wells back. I don't want him to be gone forever.
They don't ever get rid of actors. They killed Barry's father, they brought him back. They killed Wells, technically, Thawne, whatever, they brought him back. They don't ever get rid of actors like that. Because they're so vital to the story.
And they'll probably come back.
There'll be a way, they'll rewrite the timeline for the umpteenth time. Everybody will be back. People would not know. Barry would probably know that he reset the timeline somehow. Just because he probably has memories, because Speed Force, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But he'll probably know, he'll probably have that one secret that he resets the timeline. That'd be probably his ultimate threat or whatever. But yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to reset the timeline.
I mean, not reset it, but bring it back to the point where, around the same point where it was.
Like, I don't want him to say his mom. As of right now, I love the actor who plays his dad, but his dad is dead. Now, let him live on in Jay Garrick's name.
But the person that casted as dad was literally the smartest casting choice they could have ever done.
Oh yeah, because it's the original Flash.
Yeah.
Or not the original Flash, but it is the original Flash. Yeah, which was also on the CW, I believe.
Yeah, or at least they have it online on CW to watch it.
So, I mean, it was a smart cast, and to literally get him back in a Flash costume,
especially because the Flash costume he has now is so much better than the one he had back then. He had fucking full muscles back then.
Yeah. And, they did a lot of callbacks to that. I mean, they got Mark Hamill to come back and play the Trickster again, which was fantastic.
That's an amazing cast, too.
Mark Hamill's fantastic. Mark Hamill, literally every role he plays, he is so loyal to. No matter what, he doesn't care that he is Luke Skywalker. He's also the voice of the Joker, and he is the Trickster, and he is many other people and voices and characters. He's so loyal to his craft. He will just, in an instant, he'll come back.
Luke Skywalker is one of the best known characters in all of cinema as a total. The fact that they got him onto a CW show, that's fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, he was just he is such a nice and loyal and genuine actor. He was just yeah, of course.
I feel like he had no doubts about it. I feel like he just went you need me to be Trickster, but of course.
But of course, I love acting insane.
But why wouldn't I be?
It's oh, really? Is he gonna... Really? Cool. I could be in the Flash show.
You want me to do a little bit of a Joker voice? I can do a little bit of a Joker voice for you.
He did do a little bit of a Joker voice. A little bit raspy. But, Jesus Christ, this redeemed this season for me. I literally thought that this was just it was an overall decent season, but it wasn't a great season. But just that ending cleared up a lot of the problems I have this season. And it was just overall fantastic. And like I said, there was some problems with it. I didn't it's not a problem that Wells left, but I really love Wells, so I want him to stay as long as possible. But just the ending of him I'm sorry too. Then he just runs back through time and saves his mom, and that whole thing between him and the Reverse Flash where he punches him a few times and he's down. It's just that's the biggest problem with this episode. But overall, everything else is really, really good. Are you still there? Hello? Justin. I heard your chair go back. What happened? Hello? Is your mic muted? Because I can't hear you. I heard you unplug your headphones. What'd you do?
My mic is just stopped working.
Your mic died?
Let me just try some stuff.
Okay. I'll just continue talking a little bit more while he's trying to fix that. But just the whole thing, literally when he said Infinite, Crisis on Infinite Earths just came to mind. Opening up all these different Earths. Another part that was kind of weird and crazy, but I still liked it, was when Hunter took what's his name? Goddamn, I'm so in the moment. I'm so bad at remembering names. What's his name? What's Iris? What's their dad's name? Joe. Fuck. It's such a. I can remember Hunter Zolomon. And I can't remember Joe. But like when he basically shot Zoom and then he grabbed Joe, I was like, fuck. Well, they're gonna get him back.
No, god damn it. Everything is almost perfect. That'd be the one thing.
They're gonna get him back in about 3 minutes. Boom, 3 minutes later he's back. It's just like, but they did have a really good talk when Joe was hooked up and stuff. But wow, was it good? And it just overall they did a great job. Seeing Cisco develop his powers more, and Jesse Quick and Wally kind of having this weird romance. Barry and Iris are still a thing, but I feel like they're going to be taking a break. I don't know how that's going to end up in the next season. They're not taking a break, but he's trying.
They might not even like each other.
I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Well, I said it in the past, just a few days ago. I feel like it's too early for them to get together, but it's like
when I saw them, like they obviously have a thing for each other. But yeah. He was like, he literally said he's just too hollow inside to be with anybody. I was like, there you go. You finally have your chance to not be together. Like the thing is still there. It's still definite that they're the end results being coupled together, but they're not going to have the on-scene romance.
Yeah.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet, and that was fine for me. I was like, they're still gonna care for each other. They're still probably gonna kiss and do whatever.
But they're not going to date. They're not gonna be happy, like all happy together, because he just really can't be happy right now.
Yeah, I think they need to stop rewriting the show so much.
Yeah,
right now that's their biggest downfall, is rewriting the show too much.
I mean, honestly, they had to do something. That was a major shocker at the end of the season to make people want to come back for season 3, and just even rewrite the timeline is enough to make people want to come back for season 3.
Seeing fucking Jay Garrick wasn't that big. Even you said that you'd be disappointed if it was Jay Garrick. Yeah, and now we're talking about it, it's just like... I would be disappointed.
It's more of, I wanted something that was extremely, like, out of left field, something that's completely, like, unexpected.
This was unexpected. Totally unexpected.
Jay Garrick, they... Looking back on it, they slammed the information right in our face. They said it without saying it, but I don't know. The whole thing about Jay Garrick is the actor they chose to be Jay Garrick was the major shocker out of everything. Not the fact that it was Jay Garrick.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like we even like in this month's DC subscription box, they literally put a Jay Garrick pop in it.
Yeah, but technically, it was Hunter Zolomon Jay Garrick. But
yeah.
I want a new Jay Garrick pop now with the new Jay Garrick.
What if it was like a total spoiler and they put Hunter Zolomon's Jay Garrick on the box?
Hunter Zolomon's Jay Garrick.
Huh?
They did put Hunter Zolomon's in the box.
They did?
Yeah, that was the Jay Garrick that we got. It was Hunter Zolomon's Jay Garrick.
No, on the box, did it say Hunter Zolomon's Jay Garrick?
Oh no, it just said Jay Garrick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if they actually like put Hunter Zolomon's Jay Garrick, people would be like,
oh, I thought you meant like, what if they put his top in the box instead of like.
I know they put that top in the box.
Anyways,
yeah.
So much happened in this episode. I'm trying to recall on it. I'm sure you're happy that, for one, Jesse Quick is out of the picture, so she can't be a speedster.
She can still be a speedster.
I mean, she can still be a speedster, but unless they rewrite her back into the story, which they probably will, there's no need for her to be a speedster at this moment. And then Wally is not a speedster that we know of. So I'm very happy about that.
Seeing him in the last episode run after a character, and he did something else that was very like Flash-like. That was almost like hinting.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck happened? I know, like, he ran after that man to get the purse back, and something else happened. Wow, I literally just watched it. I can't remember it. But he's Wally West.
Mm-hmm.
He is pretty much the most powerful Flash.
I mean, for God's sake, in the New 52, or not, in the new DC, whatever it's called, what is it? The new DC is still the New 52,
Rebirth.
right? Rebirth.
Rebirth.
Yeah. In Rebirth, the new Wally West is designed to be. He's black. He's supposed to be. It's just like one more connection from the show to the actual comics now, that he's the Wally West. He will be the Flash someday, not today.
No, because we've seen. I mean, it's pretty much been not rewritten, but you know what? This show is so like confusing a lot of the time. But we saw Gideon tell the Flash's future that he's older. He's still the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
He's
married to Iris.
He's a founder of the Justice League. He's one of the founders. I mean, we've been told this stuff. I don't think they said Justice League, but they're like, I think Wells cut her off or something. Something cut her off before she said, "You're a founder of the or something like that. Mm-hmm. Something that happened. But we know he's still alive. He doesn't die anytime soon.
I mean, that was the future before he rewrote the timeline.
He didn't really rewrite the timeline.
He rewrote the timeline by not being the Flash. It's changed the whole entire timeline from that point on. So
when did he do that? They still remember everything that happened.
I mean, yeah, but by him defeating Reverse Flash, that literally the particle accelerator doesn't go off, so he's not the Flash.
We don't really know what's gonna happen until we see next season. If he does anything, we're just jumping to conclusions. If he can actually,
pure speculation at this point, but my idea still stands, in my opinion.
I think it would be the wrong decision to rewrite the timeline again. Like, we don't need every season to end with rewriting the timeline somehow, or changing something, or bringing somebody back, or like the show doesn't need that. For the average viewer, it's gonna get way too confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Stop doing that and just focus on being a good show. Stop trying to, fix stuff. If you fuck up somewhere in a storyline, you fucked up. You don't need to have the Flash run backwards in time or whatever to be like, oh, this didn't really happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it happens sometimes. It's the wrong decision to bring his mom back. It's the wrong decision. It just changes way too much in the entire CW universe. It changes way too much for them to do that.
It was okay. Like, on Earth 2, his mom's still alive, and that was a good thing for the show.
Yeah, because we got to see Barry talk to his mom, and we got to see that whole thing. It was nice, and it was a touching moment.
Mm-hmm.
But our Flash, our Barry Allen, mom has been dead for a long time.
She's been dead in every storyline that Flash has existed.
More or less. So, in my opinion, that would be the total wrong decision if they did that.
Mm-hmm. I feel like this whole season was fixing what happened at the very
This
end
whole
of season
season's
1.
redemption.
Yeah, it was fixing everything happened at the very end of season 1, which is like opening up all the portals to Earth 2.
Yeah.
So I think season 3 is fixing everything that just happened in the last 5 minutes of this season. Which is, he realizes he made a mistake, he tries to fix it, he probably recruits Snow and Snow and Cisco, and maybe finds Wells.
Ramon.
Cisco, Ramon, whatever. Anyways, he probably recruits all of them somehow. We don't know.
I don't want that. I don't need these characters to meet each other again.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
that's dumb.
Cisco and Caitlin have been working together for the longest time.
I don't need them to meet. So I don't need this to be another season 1 get to know each other thing.
I just don't see how else they do it. To be honest.
They don't. They just don't. He doesn't save his mom.
But
that's it.
Okay, but we can't change something that they already put in the show.
He hasn't saved his mom. He hasn't.
Did.
No, he didn't.
How didn't he?
The Reverse Flash is still laying on the ground.
Yeah, but
he's not dead.
Assume that
no, we can't assume. We literally cannot assume. We assume this entire season that Jay Garrick has been zoomed.
So season 3 starts. His Reverse Flash is going to get up and kill Barry's mom again.
I don't know how it's going to happen, but they, without a doubt, should not let Barry's mom survive. She better walk out the door and get hit by a car.
I mean,
you know it, I know it. That doesn't. We don't need his mom alive. We don't need his dad alive. We don't need Wells alive. We don't need them to all regain together. We don't need him to try to get his powers back for the 3rd time. We don't need this whole thing to happen again. They don't need to retell what they've done in the first 2 seasons.
If we learned anything from Legends of Tomorrow, it's that the timeline wants to happen. Even though the Flash is arguably the most powerful hero in DC.
He is. It's his job to literally fix everything in almost every storyline.
That's why he redid the whole universe before. But back to what I was saying, which was the timeline wants to happen. I feel like even though the Flash is the most powerful hero in all DC, I don't even think he has the ability to change the timeline too much. Like, he changed the timeline by saving Cisco's life, basically, when Cisco was already dead for a minute. And he went back in time and saved Cisco. But that wasn't as major of a change as going back, like, 20 years, give or take some time, and saving his mom. Not really changing, like, a couple days to changing however many years is a major change to the timeline, more than saving Cisco.
Mm-hmm.
So timeline wants to happen, so something will happen.
His mom will die. That's how it works. His mom will die. You just said the Flash does not have the power. Like, there's certain things he just can't change, and it's for the good of the universe and the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
If they're smart and they understand how the Flash works, at least how we presume the Flash works, his mom's gonna die.
Yeah.
His mom's gonna need to stay dead. And he's gonna go back to where he was, and he's gonna just continue on trying to build himself back up from the last 2 battles, and still trying to fight through losing his dad and basically seeing him right in front of him again.
Mm-hmm.
That's more compelling than, like, because the way it's gonna work is, as of right now, if the Flash has powers, how is he gonna get back? There's gonna be 2 Barrys in the same timeline.
I mean,
is he gonna be erased out? Because the other one was erased.
Yeah.
But he was still staying there. Is he gonna be erased again, and then we're gonna see Barry grow up, or we're gonna see him not the Flash? Like, there's lots of that that's unanswered, and I'm sure they'll answer if that does happen. But so far, Barry's mom is alive, but we don't know for how long.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole thing. Is, he's doing it for the people he's lost. and the people who are vulnerable around him.
I mean, I know it's not the right thing to do as a Flash storyline to save his mother, but I can completely understand it. Because he was basically a dead man. Everything inside of him was really, he was too broken to a place where even a whole season probably couldn't fix him very well. Like,
bring his mom back is not going to change anything.
If he rewrote the timeline to the point where both his parents are alive, I would think he would be, like, as he said, hollow inside.
He's gonna regret everything he does.
At least for a minute, he'll be happy.
The whole thing about Hero, every single hero has a backstory that's challenging for them.
Most of them
that's
stem from
sad
loss
and depression. Batman wouldn't be Batman if he didn't see his parents get shot in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
He would just be Bruce Wayne, the multi-billionaire playboy.
Mm-hmm.
Superman wouldn't be Superman if he didn't see if his entire race wasn't killed.
And his uncle, dad, whoever we want to call him, wasn't killed either.
His uncle, dad? Who the fuck are you talking about?
I forget his name. I'm a very bad
Superman?
fan. Yeah.
His uncle, dad.
On what the dude who raised him, basically. I don't
Batman
remember
v
his
Superman?
name. What?
And Batman v Superman.
In Superman, just he crashes down on the farm.
The Kents?
Yeah. What's the
What the fuck did you just say Uncle Dad for?
Because
his dad's not dead. His dad died in Batman v Superman, but his dad's not always dead.
Well, see, I have no knowledge of Superman. My knowledge of Superman stems from Man of Steel and Batman v Superman.
There's lots of superheroes that they stem from loss.
Mm-hmm.
Something happens. Spider-Man is one of the biggest ones. Spider-Man. Yeah, Iron Man. Well, no.
From what
he's just a dick.
I mean, but he lost his parents too.
And he lost her in the movie.
Again, my knowledge.
Not always. His parents are not always dead. His parents are not always dead. At least my knowledge. His parents are not always dead. They're not always killed by the Winter Soldier. And that's just to see. That's just to see. Because if that really happened in the comic books, then we would know already how his parents died. Which, if you haven't seen Civil War, I'm sorry. I don't know who's watching this right now to this point. But a lot of heroes stem from loss. And, you know, Barry loses a lot. But we've seen that from the future, he gains a lot more. We've seen from the future what Gideon's told us, which really, just because he rewrote the timeline or whatever, just because he rebooted the world and saved the world, that doesn't change that he's the Flash.
Honestly,
he's gonna marry Ali Wally. He's gonna marry Iris. It doesn't change that he's one of the founders of the Justice League. It doesn't change that. It's like his mom dies, he's always gonna be Barry Allen. He's always gonna be the Flash.
Honestly, I think this is where Legends of Tomorrow comes in, because they basically designated that their job now is to protect the timeline. So I think this is where they come in, and they have to. I feel like there's gonna be something like.
Because I feel there's gonna be repercussion. That's fucking Justin. That's fucking genius. He's gonna actually save his mom,
and then they're gonna come in and.
They're gonna come in and say you can't do that.
And then, yeah. I feel like
they're gonna come in and say that he can't do that.
I feel like beginning of season 2, there's gonna be like a couple episode crossover, because there's probably a lot of stuff they kind of want to get done. I can see it taking more than a couple episodes, because they'd have to, for one, tell Barry no, and then for two, they have to fix whatever he could have changed, and because
where this team is at, or where the I almost want to call them Time Lords, Time Masters are at, that's just like that doesn't change. It's whatever. So they kind of know how the timeline's gonna go. They're away from everybody. That is genius. Barry's gonna actually save his mom, and they're gonna come in and be like, "No, you can't do that."
Man.
Hopefully that happens. If it doesn't, they fucked up even more.
Because I think that's the whole thing. Barry changed timeline, but literally last week, Legends of Tomorrow established that their job now is to protect the timeline. I feel like they did that just to set up for the coming season of every show. Who knows what Arrow will do tomorrow? You don't care. I'll probably watch it tomorrow. You might usually watch it a day later. I'm probably gonna do what I did and sit in the front room and watch it because Arrow is fucked up. I want to see how it is.
Yeah, the whole thing with Damien Dark.
I just want to interject a little bit of Arrow shit that I wanted to talk about for half a second. They literally dropped a nuke. You can't just drop a nuke. I don't care if it's just a show. You can't just drop a nuke in America. You just can't do that. They killed like tens of thousands of people. That's just not cool. You just can't do that. Arrow was a lot cooler before they interjected nukes and mystical powers.
Nuclear warfare and magicians.
Like, it was cool. It was really cool when they brought in Constantine. When they started saying, like, Arrow could do some mystical power kind of shit, it's like, no, stop it. No, stop. No. Stop it. No. Stop it.
Yeah, that show, like, I got through most of season 1. And I have an understanding somewhat what's happening, and what's happening I'm not interested in.
See,
just not at all.
I've gone so far through. I've watched every episode so far, which is like 4 seasons worth of episodes. I just kind of have to keep going with it at this point. I just have to keep going with it.
Yeah, it
doesn't
know
where the stories go.
We saw old Oliver in the future, or at least in a other future, where his arm's gone. He's an old man just sitting in a warehouse.
Connor Hawk.
Connor Hawk.
Which that was really cool.
That's pretty cool. I liked him. Yeah. Where'd you get that costume?
And I told you, you didn't listen to me. I think, or maybe somebody else. Pretty sure it's you though. That I said it was gonna be Diggle-san, and you're like, no, I like you.
I didn't say shit.
I feel like you said shit.
What?
Anyways.
Wait, no, I didn't. No, why would I don't even watch Arrow. Or I didn't even. I was so far behind on Legends of Tomorrow when that happened.
Where are you? Oh.
I was like, when that thing happened, I was like 4 or 5 episodes behind. So that couldn't even be me, because I watched it like a week after that episode aired.
Well, I remember talking to somebody about something, and the person that watches it is you and my brother. I don't remember saying that to him. But anyway.
I don't think you said it to me.
Might have been a dream.
I don't even know.
Might have been a dream.
I don't know who I am. This is repercussions of Barry changing the timeline.
That we don't even know who we are or what we're talking about. What even is the phase?
But anyways, guys, that is our first
before we end it, season as a whole, or even just the final episode, out of 10, what do you give it?
Out of 10, the season as a whole?
Both.
Let's do in this episode. The episode is an 8.
Mm-hmm.
The season as a whole is 7.5.
I'd agree.
The first season wasn't perfect. This season's not perfect. I don't know if they're gonna have a perfect season. There's good episodes within it, but if we're looking at the overview of the show so far, is it a good show? Yes, it's The Flash, but sometimes they don't know how to tell the story right, and sometimes they
that's what
mess
happens.
up.
Like, movies tend to base things off of comics, but these shows they're not based off anything. They just come up with the stories as they go.
More or less.
Like they
have
are based off comics, but
oh yeah, definitely.
I feel like for the most part the stories are brand new.
Like we're never gonna really go to Earth 2, and we've gone to Earth 2 in the comic books, but we never really explored having TVs be flipped the other way. and how literally everything's opposite. And that was kind of a cool thing. Like, catch this, and he catches it with his right hand, but
Reverb's left-handed.
Reverb's left-handed because everything is opposite. Like, those things, they're just things that the show
small details. They're cool.
Yeah, there's some stuff that obviously we've seen from the comic books. We just talked about the Black Flash. We just talked about Crisis on Infinite Earths. We just talked about Zoom, Jay Garrick. There's a bunch of stuff that's from the comic books that they pull, and then they changed. I mean, usually Jay Garrick was from the war. That's his helmet. That's what he uses. But now he still wears it, but for a different reason. They change it to fit their storyline.
And the result's still the same.
And the result's more or less still the same. Like, we know where the Flash is going. It's just getting there and trying to survive those storylines is what's going to be the challenge. But overall, 7.5. Overall season 7.5. Episode 8.5. It was a fantastic episode. Yeah, I mean, that's it. And guys, if you're listening to this and you're, because I know there's bigger Flash fans, there's bigger fans of these shows than us. That's just our opinion on it all. If you guys have a different opinion, or you guys want to kind of explain some stuff that maybe we got wrong during this podcast, please comment down below.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, comment down below. We are just two guys who enjoy watching programs. So that is pretty much it for this podcast. If you did enjoy it, please drop a like. And if you really liked it and you want to see more of these in the future, maybe subscribe and comment down below what we got wrong. If you agree, disagree, what you thought about this season and this episode as a whole. My name is Dawson. His name is Justin. And we're out. Peace.